Over the past few years, states all around the nation are having their students take standardized tests. Many people say the number of hours testing takes to both prepare for and to actually take the test is way too high. It takes away from time that could be spent learning. However, standardized testing is often the way to hold teachers accountable for their jobs, as well as making sure that students are placed in the right classes.
And the number of tests that students have to take nowadays and the number of tests that teachers have to administrate, huge controversy surrounding that, of course. And a lot of that is tied to Common Core state standards and some other initiatives that boost the amount of tests, the number of tests that students have to take.
Standardized testing is also used for many things. For one, they hold teachers accountable for their jobs. These tests not only make sure that teachers are teaching what they're supposed to, they also check the understanding of the students. This allows teachers to know where students are struggling and make sure they are successful.
Math testing data is available right after the students take the test. Teachers can look at it and, of course, triangulate it with other data from children.
Test scores are also used to compare districts or schools. This can help schools know if they should add courses or change curriculums to further their students' learning. On top of this all, data from these tests can help determine students' placement in further courses or programs.
Overall, only 6.4% of 7th graders at Bell opted out of CMS Social Studies testing last year, as well as only 6% of 8th grade students at Bell opted out of CMS Science testing. This shows that only around 6% of people disagree with state testing.
People are against standardized testing for many reasons. The main one being that tests take too much time away from learning. Not only do you have to spend time taking the tests, other classrooms are often affected because they can't use technology or other resources during this time period.
It takes away from the class time of us being able to get students to critically think, of us getting students to be creative. We lose that when these tests are being used in such the political way that they are.
Elementary school students will spend more time taking state standardized tests this year than a law school student spends taking the bar exam, and more time than the exams required to become a police officer, teacher, or school superintendent.
Testing takes a big toll on time, in and out of the testing room. Denver Post collected data throughout Denver public schools. The average number of hours used to prepare for tests was over 25 hours per test in 8th grade.
Another reason is that tests cause teachers to teach to the test. This means that teachers will only teach what their students will be tested on. This not only decreases creativity and innovation in the classroom, it also prevents students from learning to their full potential.
A lot of teachers fall into the mode of, I just want the kids to do well on the test. So if it's not on the test, they tend to leave it out of the curriculum, and they shouldn't. Because in the curriculum should be integrated arts, should be creativity, should be time for debate, discussion, should be time for kids to explore their artistic and creative side, but those kinds of things are being pushed aside because it's not on the test, so it must not matter.
On top of that, school fundings and teacher salaries are often based on test scores. Teacher salaries are often determined by test results, which can be bad if students are having an off day.
If the public knew that it was 50%, the one-day test is 50% of my evaluation, even though the other 50% is everything that I do the rest of the year long, that there are some concerns with that.
Last year, students at our school took 13 tests spanning up to an hour and a half each. In all these tests, for the most part, the results are the same. If a student is proficient in math, she is likely to show the same results in another math test she takes. If someone is below proficiency in science, that is also likely to show in science tests that they take. All these tests show the same results, yet we still take them over 10 times a year.
Students are taking between 10 and 20 standardized tests depending on the grade, a total average of 113 different ones by graduation.
Dear future president, standardized tests give states data that they can use and compare with others. They give teachers scores and data that they can use for helping students in their academic progress. Most test scores show where students are at compared to grade level, but the amount of standardized testing in Colorado is too high and should be discussed. As students, we are more than just the test scores we get on our test. We shouldn't have to give up our creativity in the classrooms and on projects just because of the curriculum and how teachers are, quote, teaching to the test.
All in all, we are against the amount of standardized testing.
No more tests!